Okay, folks, Jim here. Jim. Anyway, got the Cadillac painted. I started sanding some of it. Figured you folks sanding, right? Anyway, I had a pretty wicked orange peel on the hood, but I expected that. I just noticed too, I could sand in a few more spots. If you see, there's some little areas there. You can see a little rough there. Up along here too, got a little rough yet, but I still have to go with, here's a 3M product. It's CADILLAC, it's 3000. It really looks like nothing. It doesn't even feel like anything, but when you start sanding with your DA or some people use, a friend of mine, he has a cleanup shop and he uses it on an orbital buffer. I suppose a little bit of that reason is he has it. It's part of a system anyway, and then also it has a little weight to it and on a spongy thing, so it probably, you know, does about the right amount of weight for what you're doing. I'm going to use, I have a Hutchins here. Well, I can't get it off of here. Anyway, a Hutchins sander. It's called like Pro Finish something. It's lightweight. It's mostly plastic on the outside. The inner workings are all metal anyway, and then it's an orbital sander. I also have a foamy pad that I can stick on, a Velcro pad, because that CADILLAC there is Velcro. So I'm putting this back on here, so there you go. Anyway, so see, I have a few sanders here for different things. That one there is the one I just told you about. Okay, that sander there is for security. And then I have another Hutchins. An old Ingersoll Rand for tearing up stuff, because this one here will go round. You push a little button thing up in here and it just grinds up a Jesus. And there's a Matco one. It goes like in 5/16 swirls, you know, like this here. These go into the smaller area anyway for more fine work. I use that top one when I just really want to tear it down. Use 80 grit and just tear everything down. I also, because my Ingersoll Rand will spin like a grinder also, I use that one to tear down. I use like maybe 80 grit and just get it, not the paint knocked the heck out of there, right? I can use some 40 grit and just tear stuff up with that also. Don't use it a lot for that kind of a thing, but you can. Anyway, so this is a little bit about sanding, and I'll be buffing later. I knocked this hood down because I had such an orange peel, but I knew I wanted this thing to be like glass. So I just poured I've almost poured it out of the dang can. That's not true. Anyway, so I hit it with 1000, and then I 2000 it. Then I will hit it with that CADILLAC 3000, and then give it a buff. You either got a sand or buff. So the thing is with this here is I can use the sander. It's a power sander, even though I already did the you know, the thing here. I like the hand sand. That CADILLAC is not going to tear stuff up like my hand sanding did. So it's just going to make it easier for buffing. So we have most of the car here sanded out. Okay, so here, let me, since I'm going to have to do this anyway, I'm going to lift up my car because I am old and I have a lift and I don't do body work on the ground anymore. So I'm going to need to be about this high. I have a couple of lights here. See my light at the end there, and I put them so I can see at it, you know, see down the side where I'm at. And this here does look weird and wavy. It's not. It's these lines right here from when I was sanding up here. Anyway, this is what I have so far. I have I try to do just so when I'm leaning over, I do the top decks first. I don't know how you're supposed to do it. This is how gyms do it. Anyway, so then I start from the bottom and go up. Just in case here, when I'm leaning over on the top and my belt buckle would scratch, or I always put a piece of tape, well, not always, mostly put a piece of tape across my belt buckle anyway. You should use an apron, different things. Anyway, so we're going to get after it. It's getting a little lengthy here, and I could go on for days. I'm hand sanding this. This one here I need to sand a little bit more. There was chips on this where the paint was coming off, and I filled them pretty good, but now I have to watch it when I sand so I don't go too far, even though I did put enough on here. So I'm going to get into this area here now. I'm leaving these guys alone because they're plastic, and I really don't want to get too close to my edges and all like that. I have to, and here I've taped off. I painted this trim because it was so awful. So now it has the same color paint. They were supposedly the same color, but they were rubbery, right? So now I sprayed them with an adhesion promoter all along, like that there. I did not sand them, which is, I would say, bad, but I did not. I just didn't. So, and I'm not sorry. I was just tired of sanding, maybe. Anyway, but most of the vehicle turned out nice. You know, it looks shiny. It's what it's supposed to be. The fellow wanted it smooth. So, right now you can see on the reflection, see the hood? That is the 2000 right now, and it's actually shiny, and you can see a reflection. I could just buff it, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do the 3000 to make it so I use less buffing compound, and it's a little easier, takes less time to buff, and it doesn't take that much time with a little water. You know, you splash some water on there, and then you hit it with the sander, the CADILLAC 3000, and when I don't see any more of my hand marks, and see, I purposely did X's and up and down at the very end, so that when I hit it with the CADILLAC and it just becomes uniform and none of that's there, I know I got it. So anyway, there you go, folks. We're gonna get after it. 1988 Cadillac. You folks have seen a lot of it so far. Well, hopefully you have. So we're getting after it. This side here is my goal for the day. Oh, I think I got a little sag in my clear. Little sag right there in my clear. I've walked around this car I don't know how many times thinking, my gosh, I got it. But little sag, but you know, I'm sanding this smooth anyway, so it's fine. There you go. Thanks for stopping. And come back again when I got a little bit further, okay? Cool.